Yeah, well, the song "Look It Up" really comes from a place where you have an unyielding spirit, a determination to continue on when you're pressed down, a spirit of just continuing when everything's been kind of taken away from you. And I remember seeing the girls coming in, they're so excited, and you know, they picked it up real quick, and I just remember getting chills down my spine.
It's over my head, it's out of my hands. I know the best I got is not.
Here are my sisters, and they're in trouble, and I was immediately put in this place of like, kind of a reverent awe. You know, you see girls and they may look okay on the outside, it may look like they have it all together, but inside they may be dealing with some heavy things, stuff that I don't know even as a guy if I couldn't handle.
This single so special is that's available as a single that all the proceeds will go to supporting Mercy Ministries. Every cent will be given to supporting this great cause, and providing whatever is necessary monetarily for Mercy Ministries. And so we're just excited to be a part of that, and excited to just see what God's going to do through this song. Like just hearing that part in the song, kind of wish we would have gone back and put that onto the record, but that's what makes
Great. Gabe, tell us your thoughts on Mercy and Circleslide's involvement.
Well, I mean, if you just listen to us talk about it, you can tell like we'll never be the same after just visiting and meeting the girls. It's one of those things where, you know, people tell you, oh, you have to experience this, I can't describe it. It really is that. But if you see things on the news about the tragedy of our youth today, and how horrible things are for young people, here's this ministry that free of charge allows girls to come in, and it saves lives. These girls could be going to prison, these girls could be on suicide watches or whatever, and instead they come out with the countenance of somebody that just is full of joy, hope. They're excited about changing their friends' lives. It's an amazing thing, and so for us to partner with Mercy Ministries is just like, for us, it's a no-brainer. And I know that I'm going to be telling all my family, my friends, that there's so many ways to get involved. You can go to the website, you can look at places where you can become a donor. I'd encourage you to visit one of the locations. If you're here anywhere close to Nashville, you should come and just pay a visit and see what's being offered for these young women. And I'll never forget what the girls, they made us like this huge scrapbook of their experience. It was like this album cover that was meticulously drawn, all these great pictures, and all we really did was we just met them for a few minutes in the studio, but that's how just one person just reaching out and befriending and praying for these girls. I think that's just something we want to take with us and share. So looking up on iTunes. It'll be available, like John said, in November. And thank you for just allowing us to be a part of this.
Can I ask you one more question, just
Yeah.
as follow-up, and anybody can answer it?
Yeah.
But just, I'm curious, as young guys, looking at a home like this for young girls, like, how did it affect you as a guy, as a man, as from that perspective? Because a lot of us who work there are women, obviously. So, what was it like for you guys as men? Was it different?
Well, I mean, so it changed my life. It changed like my outlook on just it made me more aware of my surroundings and realize that there's hurting going out there with people who may look like they got it all together.
Anybody else?
I think for me, I mean, the whole experience was just kind of shattered my thoughts. I mean, again, you know, like Lee was sharing earlier, I didn't know what to expect when we went in. And the one thing I think that stood out in the stories that we were told was there's so many like self-image issues going on, and there was a moment when they were showing photographs. You know, each girl had made kind of a photo collage of their time there, and it was amazing to see the photographs of the girls right when they came in into Mercy, and then at their graduation. And it's like there instantly are two people. There is somebody who is broken down and hurting in the first photo, who is distrustful, who is angry, who is, you know, in any number of issues like that that are just, you know, literally weighing on them. And then the second photograph, the graduation photo, you look at this girl that is full of joy, who is happy, who has some self-confidence. And it was really bizarre to me to see that much change in, you know, such a short period of time. It was literally like seeing a rebirth. And I think that was, for me, that was probably one of the most impactful things, is just seeing the contrasting pictures.
And almost like society and maybe like the popular culture tries to portray and sends guys, at least, messages of what women are supposed to look like, women are supposed to act like. And I think that if we're bombarded with that, like how are these girls, how are girls today what are like the most, how, you know, it's no wonder we're all confused about our roles as men and women, and how we're supposed to act, and how do you achieve a certain look, or how do you achieve happiness, or you know, how do you achieve you know, love. And so it just kind of put everything in perspective being there at Mercy, that, like I said, these are my sisters, and they're in need of help, and, you know, you need to treat women with respect. I mean, I know I try to treat my wife, you know, with respect, but, you know, what about the other, you know, women around us, and how do we carry ourselves as men, you know, and how do we try to, yeah, show respect and be brothers in Christ to the girls around us. So yeah, it was a good little eye opener.
Great. Eric, you're a father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a little boy or a little girl?
I have a little boy.
A little boy. Did it make you think about your role as a father at all?
You know, everybody told me that having a child would change my worldview. That, you know, you can never prepare yourself. And, you know, my wife and I've been married for 12 years, and, you know, we're like, oh, you know, we've been married for a while. We kind of understand. You know, we expect the changes, and, you know, all of the basic changes in life. Yeah, we were there for it, but the spiritual change of suddenly there's a change for me, where all of a sudden I understood the way my connection with God was supposed to be as God the Father, and being, you know, a son. And it was a really, you know, my son depends on me for everything, you know, from, you know, feeding to, you know, making sure he gets down for naps and changing diapers, like every little thing is you know, and it's my job to provide those needs, and my wife and I. And I began to realize through this situation that my connection with my father is in God is identical. It's like I need to look at him for my every need. And that, it definitely, I mean, I can tell anybody who's about to have children or whatever that it's going to rock your world, it's going to change your life, but you pretty much won't understand until you're there. And it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's powerful. Kids are a joy, there's no doubt about it.
Anybody else have anything they want to add in? Throw in?
The question you had said earlier about what did it, like, as a guy, as a young guy, like, what were the thoughts going in my mind? I couldn't help but just think, I mean, one of the leaders at one point in time said that they're bringing godly young men into Mercy to show these girls what that's like, and that, like, it, talk about, like, a really, like, I mean, I don't even really know what to, how to describe it, just the thought that went in my head of, like, I have to, like, make sure that I step up my game and make sure that that I am living what I say I am, and I couldn't help but have this just kind of a disgust from the way pop culture has taught us what is the norm and all that stuff. It just kind of made me, just left me with a really bad feeling, but more importantly, a conviction to change that and make sure I know that I'm viewing all these situations, even these young girls, the way God does. And that, you know, that was definitely a big conviction of mine when I walked out of the doors. So, yeah.
Very cool. Anything else? Good job, guys. I thought that was great.
Cool.
It was so